I'll tell you something most traders don't want to hear. Your greatest trading breakthrough won't come from a strategy, it'll come from a habit. A habit so simple, so brutally honest that Jesse Livermore built his entire fortune on it. And ironically, it's the very habit most traders refuse to develop. Before we begin, comment below. Do you believe trading success is more about psychology or strategy? I read every comment. Now let me take you inside a moment I never talk about. A day in my trading life when everything felt wrong, yet one decision, one habit kept me alive in the market. I remember waking up before sunrise. The world was quiet, but my mind was. My positions from the previous day were moving against me, not dramatically, just enough to whisper to my insecurities, just enough to make me question my own judgment. That's the kind of move that destroys traders, not the catastrophic crash you see in news headlines, but the slow bleed that erodes your discipline one tick at a time. Back then, I did what most traders still do today. I reacted. Emotion first, logic second. Hope became a strategy, fear became a signal. And then I read something Jesse Livermore wrote decades before I was even born. A trader must enforce his own rules. If he does not, the market will enforce them for him. That hit me like a slap. Livermore wasn't talking about discipline in the cliché motivational poster way. He was talking about a daily ritual, a habit, a personal law he never broke, no matter how tempting the market became. And that habit was simple. He always waited for price confirmation, never prediction. He didn't guess. He didn't hope. He didn't jump early. He let the market prove itself first. That was the habit that made him millions, and the habit today's traders ignore because patience feels like pain. Most traders chase the future. Livermore observed the present. And in this section of the story, I was still the opposite. I was chasing shadows. That morning, I sat at my desk, charts glowing in the dark. My positions were hovering just inches above my stop levels. I felt the pressure building. My ego whispered, move the stops, it's just noise. My fear whispered, exit now before it gets worse. Two voices, both emotional, both destructive. Then I forced myself to do something I'd never tried before, something Livermore preached relentlessly. I did nothing. I waited. Not passively, but with intention. I watched what price actually did, not what I wanted it to do. And in that silence, in the tension of waiting, I realized something profound. The greatest habit in trading isn't taking action, it's delaying action until the market justifies it. That morning, price finally broke. It confirmed the direction. My stop was hit exactly where it should have been. And because I didn't interfere, I walked away with a small, controlled loss instead of a catastrophic one. Most traders don't lose because they picked the wrong stocks. They lose because they refuse to adopt the one habit Livermore swore by. The habit of letting the market speak first. Ask yourself right now, how many trades have you taken too early, too emotional, without confirmation? What I'm about to share next is the moment everything clicked. The moment I finally understood why Jesse Livermore built an empire not on predictions but on discipline. Before we go deeper, answer this. Have you ever held a trade because you felt you needed it to work? Be honest, we've all been there. Now let's go back to a day that changed my entire trading philosophy. I was studying Livermore's notes, not the quotes repeated on Twitter, his real thoughts, his frustrations, his confessions, and I kept seeing this theme over and over. A trader must sit tight when conditions are right, and sit even tighter when conditions are wrong. It sounded simple, too simple. But then it hit me, the habit wasn't about waiting. It was about not reacting. Let me explain. Most traders think discipline means forcing yourself to do something. But Livermore's discipline was the opposite. It was forcing yourself not to do something. Not chasing, not predicting, not jumping, not imagining, not interfering. His entire success came from a single habit. He waited for price to show its hand. And here's the tragic irony. We live in a world where information is instant, dopamine is everywhere, and patience feels like punishment. So modern traders ignore the very habit that created one of the greatest fortunes in market history. But I didn't understand the power of this until the day the market tested me harder than ever. It was a volatile session, one of those days when the candlesticks looked like heartbeats on a monitor. Every tick felt like a decision. My setup was forming, but it wasn't confirmed yet. My analysis screamed, "Geo," but the price action whispered, "Wait." The impatience inside me was almost physical. I felt it in my chest. My fingers hovered over the buy button. And then Livermore's words echoed in my mind. "Only act when the market makes your action obvious." So once again I waited. The signal didn't come. Price reversed sharply, violently erasing traders who jumped early. And that's when I understood the secret. Trading isn't a game of action. It's a game of selection. And the only tool that protects your selection is your habit. The habit of waiting. The habit of not reacting. The habit of letting confirmation, not emotion, trigger the trade. In that instant, I realized something deeper. The market is designed to reward the patient and punish the impulsive. Always has, always will. Livermore wasn't special because he had a magical strategy. He was special because he developed the rarest habit in trading. The ability to delay gratification longer than the average trader can tolerate. So let me ask you, how long can you wait for a trade to prove itself? Drop your answer in the comments. Your honesty may help another trader. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Your trading future depends on one habit, and you've been avoiding it your entire career. Comment hook before we continue. What's the hardest part of staying disciplined for you? Write it below. Now let's finish this story. After years of study, pain, and growth, I realized Livermore wasn't teaching a trading rule. He was teaching a way of life. And the habit he swore by, the habit most of you ignore, is this. Trade only proven movement. Never anticipate what price has not yet confirmed. But let's break down why this habit is so powerful and so difficult. Most traders lose because they try to outthink the market. They try to predict the reversal. Time the breakout early. Catch the top. Catch the bottom. Be the genius who saw things before anyone else. Livermore never cared about being early. He only cared about being right. He wrote, "It was never my thinking that made me money. It was my sitting. Sitting. Waiting. Watching. Observing. Letting the market reveal its truth instead of inventing a truth inside your mind." This is the habit that separates amateurs from professionals. Professionals act on confirmation. Amateurs act on emotion. And if you're honest, you know which side you've been trading on. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two traders. Trader A marks a level on the chart, sees price getting close and jumps early. He feels clever, confident, excited. But the market doesn't care. It fakes him out, reverses, and knocks him out with a loss he didn't deserve. Now imagine Trader B, the Livermore trader. He marks the same level, feels the same temptation, feels the same urge to jump. But he waits. He waits for the level to break. He waits for volume to spike. He waits for the candle to close. He waits for confirmation that price is truly moving, not pretending. Trader B enters later. But he enters right. And he wins. That difference, those few minutes of waiting, is the difference between growth and destruction in trading. Livermore said that the biggest lesson of his life was this. The desire for constant action is the cause of most trading failures. Not lack of knowledge. Not lack of charts. Not lack of indicators. Lack of patience. The inability to wait. So let me give you the final truth, the one I wish someone had drilled into my head on day one. Your trading success will not come from your strategy. It will come from the habits that protect your strategy. Because a strategy without discipline is random, and discipline without habits is temporary. But habits become automatic. Habits become identity. Habits become truth. If you adopt one trading habit, just one, let it be the habit Jesse Livermore lived and died by. Always, without exception. So I leave you with a final question. A question that may determine the next chapter of your trading life. Will you keep trading impulsively? Or will you finally adopt the habit that separates the legends from the gamblers? And let's see how many traders are ready to evolve.